Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins will face off in a champion versus champion match at WWE Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. On October 11th, Vince Russo, WWE's former head writer, thinks the booking might confuse casual fans. Rollins and Becky Lynch lost to AJ Lee and CM Punk at WrestlePalooza on September 20th. 2 nights later, fans goaded Rollins by chanting Punk's name during his Raw promo segment with Rhodes. Russo discussed Crown Jewel with host Dr. Chris Featherstone on Wrestling's Writing with Russo. The 64-year-old questioned why WWE would immediately move Rollins into a new program when fans still associate him closely with Punk. In the video above, Russo also explained why WWE is the worst thing he watches on television. In 2024, Cody Rhodes became the WWE Crown Jewel champion when he defeated Gunther in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. After the match, he received a special title and a championship ring. As Rhodes prepares to face Seth Rollins at the 2025 event, Vince Russo thinks the CM Punk situation is likely to bemuse new WWE fans. Introduced in 2024, the Men's Crown Jewel Championship match pits WWE's 2 male world title holders against each other. Cody Rhodes is the current undisputed WWE champion, while Seth Rollins holds the World Heavyweight Championship. The big problem with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, explained by Vince Russo, exclusive. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are 2 of the biggest names in WWE today, and whenever they step into the ring together, it creates an undeniable buzz among fans. Their rivalry has been a central storyline over the past few years, and it has delivered memorable matches, including their instant classic Inside Hell in a Cell, where Cody famously competed with a torn pectoral muscle. However, according to former WWE writer Vince Russo, the feud between Rhodes and Rollins may not be as perfect as it seems on the surface. In an exclusive discussion, Russo broke down what he believes is the big problem with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and why WWE needs to reconsider how it books both men in the future. Russo has never been shy about voicing his criticisms of modern wrestling, and he immediately pointed out that while the matches between Rollins and Rhodes are technically strong, they often fall into a repetitive cycle. He explained that WWE relies too heavily on work rate and match quality, while forgetting the deeper story elements that once defined professional wrestling. In his view, Cody versus Seth became more about stringing together spectacular moments, rather than weaving an emotional tale that could keep fans invested for months. The former head writer emphasized that Rhodes and Rollins are individually strong performers, but when paired together, the creative often becomes lazy. He argued that the story of Cody finishing his father's dream and eventually capturing the undisputed WWE Championship should not have intersected so frequently with Rollins' own arc of proving himself as the face of Monday Night Raw. Russo described it as 2 characters being forced into each other's orbit just because they can wrestle, rather than because there is a real narrative that demands it. Beyond the issue of storytelling, Russo also highlighted the imbalance in how both men are presented. He claimed that WWE unintentionally made Rollins look weak at various points in the rivalry, particularly when Cody returned at WrestleMania 38 and immediately defeated him multiple times in succession. While Cody's victories were meant to establish him as a top star, Russo believes the booking came at the expense of Seth's credibility. He argued that Rollins, despite being one of the most consistent and decorated stars of the modern era, was sacrificed to fast-track Cody's momentum. This left Rollins in a strange position where he was supposed to be the top guy on Raw, yet repeatedly failed to get the job done against one opponent. Russo went on to say that WWE has never truly addressed this dynamic, and that the company sometimes assumes fans will simply forget past results. In his words, wrestling fans are more intelligent than ever, and they notice when booking undermines a character's standing. To him, the big problem is not that Cody and Seth don't have chemistry, it's that their rivalry created long-term damage for Rollins while inflating Rhodes' position without enough adversity or depth. Russo also questioned whether WWE has any fresh layers to add to their feud. He explained that once a rivalry becomes defined by constant rematches, it risks becoming stale. Fans may still cheer for Cody or sing Rollins' entrance theme, but the emotional core begins to wither if nothing new is brought to the table. He suggested that WWE instead use Rhodes and Rollins to elevate other stars rather than circling back to each other whenever creative runs out of ideas. Another point Russo made in his analysis was the contrast in character presentation. He noted that Cody's American Nightmare persona is built on reality, with constant references to his family legacy, personal sacrifices, and unfinished business with Roman Reigns. On the other hand, Rollins is portrayed as a flamboyant visionary with exaggerated traits, flashy attire, and a maniacal laugh. While both characters are popular in their own right, Russo believes WWE has failed to reconcile these drastically different personalities when writing their feud. He described it as two characters from different movies forced into the same script. According to him, this lack of cohesion prevents their matches from feeling like genuine clashes of ideology, instead reducing them to athletic showcases. Russo stressed that wrestling has always thrived on larger-than-life storytelling, where motivations are clear and conflicts resonate with fans beyond the ring. He used past rivalries like Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon and The Rock versus Triple H as examples where personal stakes drove every encounter. By comparison, Cody versus Seth often feels like two great wrestlers competing for bragging rights rather than a battle with lasting consequences. He pointed out that WWE could have built Rollins as a true obstacle to Cody's dream, representing the gatekeeper who would not allow Rhodes to surpass him. But instead, the company opted for straightforward match outcomes that lacked dramatic twists. As the conversation continued, Russo also addressed the impact of fan perception. He acknowledged that Cody Rhodes is beloved by many fans who respect his journey from leaving WWE to establishing himself in AEW before returning to fulfill his destiny. However, Russo cautioned that constantly protecting Cody at the expense of others could backfire. Fans may eventually grow tired of a one-sided narrative if they feel their favorites like Rollins are being unfairly diminished. He suggested that WWE should be careful not to repeat mistakes of the past where overprotecting one talent created resentment among the audience. From his perspective, the solution is not to stop Cody versus Seth altogether, but to rethink how it is executed. He proposed that WWE could revisit their rivalry in a way that adds layers of psychology, higher stakes, and a stronger sense of unpredictability. For example, Rollins could be portrayed as someone who feels robbed of his rightful place as the leader of Raw, and therefore resents Rhodes for stealing the spotlight. This would create a more personal angle rather than another exhibition of technical wrestling. Russo also argued that Rollins should have been given at least one decisive victory early in the rivalry to maintain his aura. Doing so would have established parity and made future matches less predictable. Instead, the booking leaned too heavily in Cody's favor, creating what Russo sees as the core issue. He reiterated that fans do not want to watch the same man lose over and over again, no matter how entertaining the match may be. In closing, Russo reflected on how much potential both stars still have, but warned WWE to address the imbalance before it becomes irreversible. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are generational talents, and their paths will inevitably cross again. But unless WWE focuses on telling a deeper story rather than relying solely on match quality, the rivalry risks being remembered as repetitive rather than legendary. For Russo, the big problem is ultimately about lost opportunities and short-term thinking. And unless WWE learns from it, the same mistakes could be repeated with other top stars. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.